Alright, so let's address a complicated subject here. Healing autism. And I want you guys to sit with what I'm about to say for a second, because I see both sides of the equation. There's two sides to this. There's the moral side of it, as healing the person with autism because there's nothing wrong with them. And then there's the physical, biological, behavioral side, where of course there's something wrong with them because they can't function throughout a day and melt down at the slightest thing. Now, on one hand, as a person, if we're talking morality, no, there's nothing wrong with them. We don't need to fix them as a person. They're completely fine as they are as a person. However, on a biological side of them, there is stuff that is obviously not functioning correctly. Because if it was, then you wouldn't be watching this video and you wouldn't be in this group. There is stuff that they have meltdowns, they have sensory issues, they have focusing issues, they have all this stuff that you can literally point to in the body and go, look. Specifically, if you want to Google this, Google the vagal nerve, V-A-G-A-L, or V-A-G-U-S, the vagus nerve, V-A-G-U-S. The vagus nerve in a lot of people with Asperger's and autism is fried. And by that, I mean it is not fully working. Ava says, who's posted a lot in this group, says it's a bad Skype connection. And when you literally look at it, it is like wires that have been sent so much energy through them that they have fried. It is a wounded nerve, and that is the, quote, cause of defense mode and a lot of it. You can literally measure this with an EKG and see someone's vagal tone. Somebody that's out of defense mode, high vagal tone. Somebody that's in defense mode, low vagal tone. So literally, their nerve is not working as well as it should, and this is the thing that controls fight or flight and defense mode and a lot of other stuff. I'm not going to go into all the science of it here. But I think it's both foolhardy to say that somebody with Asperger's needs to be healed, and I think it's foolhardy to say that somebody with Asperger's or autism does not need to be healed. Because morally, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, because that's complete, utter bullshit. There's no need to heal anyone. There's nothing wrong with them as a person. But if we talk about the functioning and the mechanics of the individual, there may be some things that are not functioning correctly. Just like a fat person is nothing wrong with the person, but on the other hand, biologically, they are obese, they are overweight, they are not functioning correctly, and to deny that level is extremely unhealthy. To go, no, there's nothing wrong with them, they don't need to change. No, there is something wrong with that, with not them morally, but them biologically. They are not functioning correctly. They have a huge excess of weight. Whatever the reasoning is, this isn't a moral failing, this is just strictly biology. They have an excess of weight. In that sense, there is something wrong with them. And there is something that should be fixed. I think a lot of people confuse the morality of this is a person that is an individual and we don't need to change them with the actual biological. No, there is something actually the matter with the biology and the behavior of this individual that is not healthy. That it has nothing to do with morality, it's just that they are not healthy. Now that does say one thing though. I don't really care what caused it. I don't care if it was vaccines, I don't care if it was the dog down the street. It doesn't matter, and to conjecture on that is useless and baseless, because let's say, for example, it happens to be vaccines. I'm not saying that it is, I don't think it is, but to suspend your disbelief, let's say that it is vaccines for a second. Great, it's vaccines, now what? I mean, does that literally change anything? That you can get mad at someone and go, oh, it's your fault that my son has autism or something, even if it is, but it isn't, first of all, and even if it was, it doesn't change anything. So we focus on what matters. We focus on getting them out of defensive mode, not obsessing about a certain diagnosis, not looking for a cure, not pointing fingers and blame and saying this is a problem or that is a problem or no, and saying, well, there's nothing wrong with them, because to completely deny that they have issues is as bad as saying there is a moral failing on their part. They do have issues. And until you get them out of defense mode and heal that vagal nerve, they will continue to have issues. On the other hand, they are an amazing human being, and there is nothing wrong with them as a person. Huge distinction to make.